everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Actually, it's a new segment that's going to be permanent. So, welcome to I Am That Bitch with your host, Val V, and by popular demand, my girl, Rula DK.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, chick?
So excited to be here. I can't believe people love listening to us, girl.
I know. So Rula and I decided we're going to do our own segment on I Am That Bitch podcast, and it's Double Trouble Tales by two Greek girls. So
I love it.
We're going to talk about growing up Greek, Massey, whatever. It's whatever. We don't care. So she's American, I'm Canadian, and it's funny how we grew up in the same culture, how different we grew up.
Yeah.
Right?
Crazy. But so many things we have similar too. Like at the core of our being, there is similarity, but yet how we could be so different, and how then New England brought our similarities back together, and now Canada. It's kind of crazy. But can I cheers you, my friend? The New Englander in me has my iced coffee, because we roll with iced coffee. And you bitched at me last time for my cup, so I switched to an iced coffee.
No, you can use the cup. It's look, I did the nails.
Oh, I love it. We're almost matching.
Oh my God, we're almost matching.
That's
Remember
crazy.
I said, oh, it's too bright. I showed you that Pinterest one.
I love it.
I did it anyway.
I love it.
Okay, so this episode we're talking about, I'm probably going to say it wrong because it's in Greek, Xeni friends.
That's it. Right? Perfect. So Xeni friends, for those who don't know, are friends who are non-Greek.
Yeah.
So when you grow up Greek, chances are, or Massey, you have your core people who are Greek or Massey, because that's who you grew up with.
Yeah.
If you went to church or your picnics or whatever, you might have done. But then there's the Xeni, kind of those Americans or Canadians who aren't Greek or, Massey.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, being Canadian, growing up in Toronto, I did grow up on the Danforth, but I grew up at Maine and Danforth, which was a lot of, I'm going to call it the munja cakes, right? You know what a munja cake is, right? Being American.
I sure do. I've been here long enough. I know.
All right. So, we were a really good mix of Xeni and like Greeks, Italians, Portuguese. There were Jamaicans, Indians. Like we were like Dawes Road. It was really a good mix of people, but still quite a few Europeans, right?
And I grew up outside of Boston in a community in the North Shore, and my life revolved around that church, and it was Greek. So my closest peeps growing up were Greeks, because I was, we're going to do a different segment about the church, but my life revolved in that building. So Greek school, Sunday school, basketball, everything was with the Greeks. And then I had
any Xeni friends?
My school friends were Xeni.
Oh.
So I went to Catholic school. That's where the Xeni come in. But the rest of the time, I spent more time with the Greeks than I did the Xeni, because we did everything in that building. So we were always together.
Oh, so did they make fun of you with your name Rula? Because I didn't grow up with that name, right? Vula?
Yeah, I was called Raul. So don't forget, I'm also from Boston. So it was Rula. Rula, can I borrow Rula?
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Oh, I think I've heard that 750 million times. So, it was always Rula, can I borrow Rula? I'm not scarred or anything from that. But anyway.
No, not at all. You can't fucking tell.
It definitely, my full Greek name, I hid from people until university, I think, or after. I can't remember when the Greeks actually found out. They never knew, because Rula is my middle name, legally my middle name.
You're Greek. First of all, hold up. Wait a minute. Rewind. So normally Greeks don't have fucking middle names.
They don't. But my parents thought if I got a middle name, I could go by the middle name, so they wouldn't make fun of the first name.
So what's your first name?
Zacharula.
Oh, but that's Rula.
No, it's Zacharula. I'm sweet like sugar, bitch. There's nothing to do with the Rula.
So, oh my God, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Go ahead. I'll take over while you do that.
But Zacharula, we would call Rula, like Stavrula, Zacharula.
Yeah, but I could have been sugar, or Rula.
And I'd hand you a fucking brass pole. Hey, sugar.
So my parents went with Rula. But anyway, woo, I just
So
kicked my.
you are Zakarula Rula.
Yeah, yeah,
Blah blah blah.
yeah. Way too long of a last name. That's the other perk
Holy
of being Greek. That
I
was
thought
the other perk.
growing up, I thought I'm going to marry a fucking Canadian, so I don't have to have like this big ass last name, right?
Oh
Then
my
I
God,
married a
10
Greek.
letters. His
I had
name had to
11.
have 10 letters. That was one
I,
of my requirements of getting married.
it
Over
was a
six,
requirement.
yeah, over 6 feet tall, and his last name had to have less than 10 letters. Because, bitch, I've been writing my name forever. It was way too long. I needed a short last name.
I wanted a short last name
Yeah,
too, but I didn't get one.
I got one. I got one. But
You
anyway,
did.
I digress. So let's get back to
Okay.
this. Xeni.
So my Xeni friends, we were very multicultural. Where I grew up, I went to George Webster in East York, where most Greeks lived. But um, yeah, like we had, I think the majority of my friends were Xeni,
Wow.
except one, Nectaria, who I absolutely love. I haven't talked to her in years. Um, Everybody else, oh well, no. There's if I count the guy friends, now I'm just going girlfriends. Yeah, most of them were Xeni.
So I think it was different for me because my school friends, I didn't hang out as much because I was busy with my Greek stuff, right?
Yeah,
So they were there. Like one of my dearest friends, we've been friends since the first grade. She's French Canadian of all things, right? My other friend since the first grade is Ethiopian, but she's Orthodox.
yeah,
So, but after school, like growing up in high school was different because I played basketball, so my life revolved around basketball. And we had Greeks on the basketball team, so I tended to hang out with the basketball team.
yeah,
But in terms of like when I was younger, the Greeks took more of my time because everything was with them,
yeah.
right? Like
I'm just trying to
I
think.
joke, I've been in more Greek weddings. Like it's insane because these people we've been friends for 40 years, right?
Wow, you're still friends with them?
Still, I have a catch up call. I'm going to do a shout out. My girl Dina, we're catching up tomorrow. We've been friends since probably 3 years
Nice,
old. For before Greeks, we were friends since Sunday school. So I don't know, three,
nice.
four, however old you are. So
I have
40
friends
plus
that
years.
old for sure. I do.
Yeah.
I have they're Massies. Um, actually from the Yugoslavian side, but when they moved from East York and they went to Bramalea, which was, oh my God, so far away back then, right? That we would write fucking letters to one another. We were so young. They were my best friends since we were like 2, 3 years old, right? And I'm still friends with them today. Like we
Yeah.
get together and it's like no time has been missed,
Well,
you know?
but that's a true friendship, right?
Yeah.
Regardless, that's a true friendship. And it's funny because looking back now, you think of, um, I was I was talking to someone and we were joking. I have a university friend who, obviously I was in her wedding too. I've been in a lot of weddings, Val.
Jesus.
And her husband then, I think it was her boyfriend at the time, had come to a Greek festival at my church. And one of the things we sold at our festival was galactoburico. Well, trying to get him to say galactoburico was galactic booty yo.
Well,
So
I have a different
to this day, whenever I see galactoburico, I think of Joe because it's galactic booty yo. And that's how I taught my kid to say
I
it
love
before she
it.
could say it.
Well, I still can't say it, and I'm 51 now, and that was my mother-in-law's favorite dessert. And okay, we're gonna do another episode of my conversions of Greek words
Oh
and what I
yeah.
think they mean. So I'm gonna save that because I
All
have a
right.
good one for that one. But yeah, for like sending friends, like so I was very different. Like for us, I wanted to have the Xeni, like you ever go to school and not have like my mom was really not the type of mom, the Greek mom that gave me Greek lunches.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but did you get like the, pastitsio in a margarine container?
No, it's funny because what I never got was peanut butter and fluff. I
And what?
never got peanut butter. Do you know fluff?
I don't know
It's
what
like a
fluff.
marshmallow treat.
Oh no, I would never eat
So
that.
yeah, so peanut butter and fluff are called fluffernutters. They're from Massachusetts. That's big, and I never got that. And I
Okay.
remember a girl. We went first grade through university together, and she would have peanut butter and fluff because allergies weren't a thing then. Um, with
Ugh.
the the crust cut off every day
Oh,
at school. And I remember being like, what?
what
That
is
must be
that?
like, that was an Americanaki thing, right? Like Americans do that. Greeks don't do that. I don't peanut butter
Yeah.
fluff. I didn't have fluff till I was like
Well, what
pregnant.
did you have for lunch then?
Ham and cheese. But I
Okay.
would have spanako pitaya or tiro pitaya. I would
I
have
never did.
locanico. I would have kiftedakia.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Well, no.
but you have to remember, that's what I ate. So like my parents we were not one of those Greek families in the restaurant business, but I ate
Are you
Greek
really
food.
Greek?
I
That's the
know.
next episode.
I ate Greek food. So like there's lots of foods I never tried until I went off to school because that's what my mom cooked. She cooked what she knew, which was Greek. I
Yeah,
didn't have
no, I
soup
get
out of a
it.
can. I know
I
what
get it.
that is.
My mom just wanted to be Canadian so bad. Like she was so proud to be here, right? And I begged for bologna and cheese sandwiches. I'll even eat a bologna sandwich right now. All beef, of course, right? But it's all shit. It's right, but
Gross.
I could even be even more gross, but I won't even. But I I just I just wanted a bologna and cheese sandwich on white bread every day. That's it. Don't embarrass me. Don't give me anything else. But a lot of the times we used to go home for lunch too, because my mom at one point was a stay-at-home mom. But we would come
Uh,
home like the Xeni. I would beg to stay at school because the Xeni stayed at school, right? And played tetherball. Did you guys have tetherball?
I don't know what that is. No.
It's a
Kickball?
pole. It's a pole with a rope and a ball, and you have lines, I was really good at it. Anyway, I just wanted to play tetherball at school, but we had to go home for lunch. But we would come home because we owned a restaurant. I would have like grilled cheese sandwiches, clubhouse sandwiches, all that kind of stuff, right? Because that's what me and my brothers ate. Did you eat cereal for breakfast?
Yes, I had cereal for breakfast. Wait, can I ask you about the question? A
Yeah,
question about the sandwiches. Would you trade? Because my husband, again, he grew up in the restaurant business. He
yeah.
would trade his whatever amazing sandwiches my in-laws made for like spam or whatever crap some other. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But like I'm picturing this amazing sandwich, like BLT, my in-law and my mother-in-law made, and he would turn it over for like something not as cool.
No, I didn't. I don't remember doing that at all.
But I think one thing I can say I have realized is okay, now I've been here 15 years or so, roughly.
Yeah.
I feel as though Greeks who moved to Canada assimilated quicker.
Oh,
Whereas Greeks who went to America, again, it depends on the time. I'm talking about late 60s, early 70s Greeks. I'm not talking about the
okay.
18, I'm talking about that immigration of Greeks.
That's where my mom
Try to
came,
keep
66.
try to keep the Greek culture, I don't want to say more alive, but they went to
Canadians
places where
did
there
or
were other
Americans
Greeks.
did?
Say that the Americans did. Because
Oh,
if you
I
look at
disagree with you.
no, but if you look at my in-laws, you look at your parent, your mom, you look at people I know who are Canadian,
Yeah.
Canadian Greeks, yes, they had their village panigiria, or they had, their church obviously and whatnot. But when it came to business, they assimilated quicker, learned the language quicker, and kind of, I don't want to say kept that
This is
they
because Canadians are better than Americans.
That's why I jumped ship. Let's talk about that later as to who's jumping ship. But
Yeah, I want to
whereas
jump ship.
the Americans found a Greek church, there were 1,000 Greeks at one point, over 1,000 Greeks in my church community. My parents
Mhm.
didn't need to learn. I mean, my dad did for his business,
Yeah.
but he didn't need to because he was surrounded by all those Greeks.
I get that. My father was like that. My father-in-law hardly spoke English. He was horrible at it, but he lived and breathed the Danforth, right? He was surrounded by his own people, so he didn't have to. He
Mhm.
worked for an Italian butcher, right? So he knew the job, and he I don't know how they fucking communicated with the guy because his
Hands,
English
this, like
sucked.
this.
You were, like cut,
Yeah.
like it's just, yeah. But my mom, we spoke English to her. She would speak to us in Macedonian, and we would respond in Macedonian,
Hmm.
and then her and my father would speak in private Greek. So
Gotcha.
Anyway, that's but me growing up in East York is where I know the Greek that I do know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure. And that we'll do a whole other, we have an episode coming about Greek school, but that's a whole different story. But I think
Yeah.
it's interesting because regardless of growing up Greek, if you will, in North America, for lack of a
Mhm.
better term, your Xeni friends molded you because either you wanted to be less Greek because you wanted to be more like the Xeni,
Yeah.
or you were like, I'll never forget. Okay, so here's a funny story where
Okay.
my dad like lost his shit. My dad never lost his temper, but my dad lost his temper one night. So I was on the basketball team, and part of what we did before one of the big games is we TP'd houses. Well, my house got toilet papered. And my
Mm.
parents had no clue what this was about. I didn't warn them that I was going toilet papering. Obviously, they wouldn't let me go. And so my parents took all the toilet paper down. Well, the girls went by again, thinking my house didn't get TP'd, and we got TP'd twice. Lost his mind. He's like, these, I've got the American accent. These are, these American kids. What are they doing? This they think is fun. I was like, Dad, this is what they do. And my dad, didn't comprehend like team spirit. And we go around and toilet paper kids' houses. And of course, all the other parents are out taking pictures because they think, it's before the big game and it's a
Yeah.
big deal. And here I'm getting reamed out at home because we got toilet paper twice. And now thinking back, it's like anything. It's like anything.
It's funny, your dad never lost his temper. My dad would. Oh, my dad. But that we'll talk about in the restaurant episode because
It's
there's so
crazy.
much. So
But I
much.
think I think too a lot, I have so much, respect for uh friends who wanted to learn, like any friends who wanted to learn about what it was to be Greek, right?
Yeah.
Because we're unique in the sense of religion is such a big part of who we are,
Yeah.
and they are intertwined, unfortunately. And so I appreciate my friends who always were willing to take the time and learn, right? It wasn't like, I remember when we were getting married and I like had to do a program for the Xeni to understand what the Greek wedding ceremony was about, right? Like
Right.
the crowns and the walking around the table and the what and all that. And I remember people being like, I can't believe what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I can't, oh my God, I lost it. But they couldn't believe how uh, wrapped in tradition our wedding ceremonies are, right? They couldn't believe how this ceremony has been passed down for thousands of years,
Yeah.
right? And nothing
Yeah.
to take away from someone who goes to city hall or has is able to say their own vows, because I joke to this day we never said vows. As soon as you walk
No.
into a Greek church, you're done because you don't get to say I do. um, so that's part of it, right? And
Yeah.
so it is it's I love my Xeni friends, and I appreciate the fact that they did take the time to learn about that Greek part of me because it was such a big part of who I am.
Well, we were different, right? That's why my whole name is Val, because my uncle didn't want me to be made fun of with a name like Vula.
Yep.
So he wanted me to fit in, right? They wanted me to fit in. So it was great that we had these Xeni friends and they were so accepting and embracing. And I'm still friends with some of them till this day.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm absolutely grateful. And I love the multicultural. I love how we were all mixed, you know what I mean? It was just a good time to grow up. I don't know about you in Boston, but in Toronto when we grew up in the 80s and 90s, it I wish I could turn back the time and go back because it was just so good.
No, it was one of the things that we had in Boston, which I'm guessing you had here, I don't know, is
Mm,
uh, we had Greek nights, and Greek nights, like clubbing Greek nights, and those were a big part of who we were. And so I remember bringing Xeni friends to Greek nights,
yeah.
and they would be like, "You Greeks
What
know," and
is
it was like going to an island, right? We thought we were in Mykonos, but we were in Il Panino. Anyway, it was a place in
Well,
Boston we
we
used
had
to
the
hang out,
Danforth, right? So every
right?
night, like
But
there was
yeah.
Bazookia, I remember like the restaurants would play music, smash plates, you know what I mean? They'd have like Christina's, like playing Bazookia guy there, so we had a whole community. I found the one thing though, when I moved to Maine, and now, okay, Maine is more Xeni than anything.
Amen.
Like I remember Tony getting his hair cut, and he said, the hairdresser goes, "What are you?" And he goes, "I'm Greek." And he goes, "Have you heard of Greece?" She's like, "No." And like,
Oh.
well, okay, don't get me started on
Yeah,
Manas.
well, different episode. Hold it in.
Different
We're trying to
episode.
keep them short.
But they knew nothing about being Greeks. And then we thought, okay, we're older. We want to make some friends in the community. We're new to Maine, so we thought we'd go to the Greek church. There wasn't one fucking Greek there.
Well, here's the thing. You have to remember Greek. I mean, I have a friend who married a girl from Maine. Those Greeks are fourth generation, third
Yeah,
generation. Those are the late 1800 Greeks,
yeah.
early 1900 Greeks. So those Greeks don't know how to say Kalimera,
No,
but
don't say it like that. Oh my
they
God, fix
feel
it.
Greek though.
Fix
That's
it the
the
way
thing.
you said it. Fix it. You said Calimera.
Kalimera.
Calimera.
They don't know how to say Eucharisto and Kalimera. They don't. But here's the thing. And I go back to, this is part of, some friends and I started a foundation. And if you're in the States, check out the AF Foundation. I'm giving us a plug. But that's why we started our foundation, because we wanted to make sure that Hellenism wasn't lost. And that's a whole different can of worms. And I don't, I feel as though, and maybe because the Greeks I've met in Canada are more my type of Greeks, like meaning first generation. Our
Yeah,
parents were the
that's what we
immigrants,
are. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So as opposed to, I have friends I have one friend, a really good acquaintance / friend in particular that's third generation,
yeah.
and nothing against him.
No, not at
Doesn't
all.
speak a
But
word
we
of Greek.
thought, oh, we'd go in and we'd like meet some people and they would understand us, right? Because we are a different breed. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
We
We're,
are.
we're loud. We're obnoxious.
We use
We're
our
so
hands for everything.
amazing. I know. I don't know what you're
Strong-willed.
talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
Love it.
but yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't change the people that were in my life. They made me who I am today, right? Every
That's
experience
it.
that everything they taught me, we taught them. It was a whole part of everything. So I'm absolutely grateful for them. We're not
Oh,
knocking you. We fucking love
no, same. I'm grateful for my extended friends. I
yeah,
love the love that they show to me and the
yeah,
love they show to my Greekness, because
yeah,
if you know me, like when people are like, identify yourself, I'm a Greek American,
yeah,
transplanted in Canada. The Greek is always first. And
yeah.
that to me is a big deal, because most people will say they're American with Greek roots. I'm a Greek American.
Well,
The
you might
Greek
get some
always,
American hate here because you guys are very patriotic.
I
So if you're
listen,
not America first, you might get some fucking hate here now.
I'm not going to get hate. I'm not going to get hate, because if you know me, I love all my countries
I
a
know.
thirdly, thirdly.
I
But
know.
I mean,
Equally.
the Greek comes. The Greek is so entrenched in me. I can't not put it first. It's in my blood. Like,
Yeah.
I
That's who
literally
you
bleed red,
are.
white, and blue. The blue and white from the Greek, the red, white, and blue from America,
And
and the
then
red and
red and
white from
white
Canada.
Canada.
I bleed red, white, and blue all around.
You do. You do. And I can attest to that for sure.
Oh,
You're a very proud American, very proud Greek, and very proud Canadian,
no.
So even though you're not Canadian, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Well,
you're very proud.
thank you for having me on, Val, to talk about our Xeni friends.
Well, stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be coming at you. We're going to tell you all our tales about growing up Greek and Massey. And I hope you guys like this. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.